So I am really bad at this whole reel thing, but I've mentioned I had something fun to share, and so I've been working this morning on making videos, and of course Instagram doesn't even want to upload it. I think it says it's too long. So apparently lives don't count on length. So I'm going to show you what I've been playing with. I hope you really like it. So one of the best things about this whole creative industry, and it doesn't matter if it's knitting or fabric or, you know, embroidery and cross stitch, it is, to me, one of my favorite things is working with other companies and creators to come up with really fun things that all just work together and really elevate your time crafting. And Anne over at Lolli and Grace has done just that. And she sent me a package several weeks ago, and I've got a little crazy, and so it's been sitting here, and I'm so excited to finally show it to you. She has created, let me move my camera around. Floss swifts. She's calling them thread winders. But in reality, if you come from the yarn side of craft, one of the most basic tools is a swift, and they come in multiple types, and they are to help you wind your yarn for use. Well, one of the issues with floss is that sometimes the floss gets really hard to wind. I've tried to wind it straight off of a skein before. I have unwound a skein and then put it on my wrist and then had my wrist choke half to death. It just doesn't go smoothly. But Anne solved this problem. So let me show you how it works. So you take your skein of floss. This is Cosmo 224. And you just open it up all the way. There's no pulling of one thread or another thread. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to put mine on this way. And then you can spend your time with whatever bobbin or type of piece that you are winding onto. These are our standard bobbins. They don't have the swatches on them, but they have really tall tops and large holes, and the slots down here are sized very specifically so that it actually holds the floss without stripping it. But the simplicity of a floss winder is that now I'm not holding it, I'm not choking it up on my arm, and it just comes off nicely, meaning that I can sit here and wind and not end up with a massive, gnarly, tangled mess of thread. Which personally, honestly, usually doesn't end up bothering me. There's some simple joy that I actually have with untangling things. My yarny friends know this and will actually bring me their tangled yarn messes to solve. Which might mean something is wrong with me. I don't know what type of diagnosis I do not have, but I do love it when it comes off as smoothly as this. And that is Cosmo 224. Look at that pretty fall type color. I think I saw some leaves this morning while taking my sons to the bus stop that look just like that. But I am really excited to get the rest of my stash wound. That's the floss version. It's a nice grippy bottom. But she also have a video of this that I'm gonna have to chop up now. She also made one for pearl cotton. So I just wound that up. It takes a little bit longer. She has fantastic instructions for the pearl cotton version. You even get little tiny miniature tools. Man, look at how cute those are. And it works pretty much the same as the floss. Here's a Cosmos Pearl Cotton, comes in the Seasons, which is their variegated lines. This one's 212, but I call it Halloween because of all of those purples and oranges and yellows. It just looks like Halloween to me. But how fantastic is that? Pearl cotton sometimes has a knot in it, which reminds me a lot of yarn at that point. I don't know if you are familiar or not with our bobbin pegs, or if you've seen them. They are my version of a clothespin replacement. They come in pairs because they slide together. They were actually inspired by a cross of clothespins, which is kind of a standard pearl cotton storage solution, and old Japanese silk spools, which have much more of a square shape and are actually just stunningly gorgeous. But I love having this option that didn't exist before. This was something that I had worked on as an idea myself and was fascinated when Anne reached out and let me know that she had managed it. I had not contemplated 3D printing, and that would have solved the one issue that I kept running up against. And I love it. She has done an excellent job. But at this point, I think I'm going to spend a lot of time here shortly, just sitting and winding and thoroughly enjoying myself, because for me, this is actually pretty relaxing. Not talking on a video or trying to keep anything centered, but the act of winding, I kind of enjoy. It's okay, I guess I can just be weird. Her instructions on putting these together is fantastic. And once I chop up that one video so that Instagram likes it, I will post that as well, the whole process of putting it together, because it's just brilliant and it's well written, and Anne has done a fantastic job. Kate from Modern Hoopla, another co-conspirator of mine, has wonderful wooden bases that hold these bobbin pegs and little floss racks that fit them, and they are likewise fantastic. But I love being able to enjoy my stash. I think sometimes it isn't so much always just using it and actively stitching. For me, there is a massive amount of sheer enjoyment from looking at it, having it displayed pretty, just having the collection itself. It's kind of like, you know, a kid who has a rock collection, I guess. It's my grown-up version of rock collections. Pearl cotton takes a little longer to wind. This is such a strange color. The more I'm actively winding it, the less Halloween it feels. Does it feel like Halloween to you? But look how smoothly it's coming off. I think that's just the best part. Oh, it's jumping off its tracks. I've wound a couple, and that's the first one to jump tracks. So we got a pearl cotton one, and we got a floss one. Anne has done amazing things. I'm excited to keep using them.